でまあそうだね、ちょっと僕的に個人的な話していいですか。いいですか。やっぱこういう機会なんでちょっと聞いてほしくて、あんまりねもう分かると思うんだけど、喋るの別に得意じゃないから何言ってんのかなって思うかもしれないけど、結構ガチで喋ります。はい、聞いてもらえたら嬉しいです。はい、つゆ、今でも
生きてるだけ無駄だって私のことなんて見放してよ。どうせ夢の一つもないから。
Tuyu is a J-pop group that made their first debut on June 12, 2019, with the release of their first single, It's Raining After All. That song has now achieved 8.3 million views on YouTube with 6.3 million plays on Spotify. It's Raining After All, or Yappa Ame as the band often calls it, which is short for the full Japanese title, Yappari Ame ga Furu. Yappa Ame is a song that has so much layers in it. At first glance, hearing the song, especially to people who don't understand Japanese at all, sounds like a charming song, especially with how the song sounds and the instruments being played and mixed together. But as you look closely at the translation for the lyrics, it slowly ruins the whole happy-go-lucky vibe this song gave the first time you listen to it. The first time I tried to analyze this music video, I thought I've had a good grasp of the story that the music is telling. But just to be sure, I went to the Tuyu Discord server and asked the experts there. Yes, there is an actual role for people who manage to translate and dissect the lyrics. And turns out, my interpretation was wrong. One of the good people there, LJ Tattoo, had done an analysis on the song and was very kind to explain the whole thing to me. So, Yappa Ame is a story about recounting a breakup that a person had with her significant other. To make it easier, let's call her Ame, which is the MC for this music. From how her significant other, let's just call them Kimi as in you in Japanese, would oftentimes talk to her without making direct eye contact. Then, Ame would tell how Kimi would sometimes neglect her, where Kimi won't even call her by her first name anymore, which goes to Japanese culture. Because in Japan, you don't really call someone by their first name. Instead, you use their last name, which is their family's name. But first name basis only happens to those who are very close with one another. Hence, why is it such a big deal to Ame-chan why Kimi stops calling her by her first name? Ame-chan would reveal how she hasn't been happy at all. She would try and think to herself that everything is alright, basically gaslighting herself, and hoping that maybe Kimi would notice, but alas, it's all for naught. In the end, Ame-chan only hopes that the rain, which is a way to say her tears, would end the pain she's feeling right now, hoping that maybe they would break up and end their relationship there, which is what actually happens in the end. So yeah, as you all can see, this song is more than just. It's a song that tells a very sad story, but with a hyper and energetic instrumentals to trick the listeners. Or perhaps, it's a way to show how human works. how people would often hide their true emotions with a smile, pretending that everything is alright, despite how hopeless and empty they feel. Or, I don't know, man, I'm just symbolizing things randomly.
夏が終わる前に綺麗な空へとくれた悲しみを投げ捨ててしまう夜には深いささやさが涙をくれた朝顔の散る頃に
This is one song, mind you, and Tuyu have made countless songs for the last few years. And that brings us to our next topic, the members. Who are they? Well, first off, you have Pusu, who composed and wrote the lyrics. Miro, his piano that adds such beautiful melodies into the music. Lastly, Rei, who delivers the song with her amazing vocals that captures the lyrics' emotions perfectly, somehow capturing the melancholic emotions, despite the light-hearted and beats that's playing with her. The lovely Omutatsu, who is responsible for the breathtaking illustration and artwork, giving that signature Tuyu look, while Azun is the mastermind behind all the animation for every single music video they put out. They both work so well together, the artwork capturing the whole song perfectly, while the animations bringing everything to life.
ただでさえ梅雨の季節だろうなのに僕たちはジメジメとした会話ばかりしているあ喧嘩だまた喧嘩だだんだん強くなる雨一向に引く気がないねどっちもまだお子様だもう帰るって傘もささずに飛び出した君適当に壁に八つ当たりした僕は寝た
Like everything, there's always a beginning. So let's dial it back and see how Tuyu became what it is today. It all started with Pusu. He was 18 at the time and just dropped out of high school. That's when he started out as a Vocaloid composer. But he didn't feel satisfied with his work. He tried singing, but it felt off for him. Maybe because he's a composer at heart, especially with how he's been working as a Vocaloid composer for a while now since he started out.
もともと10年ぐらい前からボカロ P をやってて、もう結構前だな、もう18歳で本当に、ね、やばい、もう底辺時代、高校も辞めて、そこから活動やってて、ボカロもやったし、で、なんかそのボカロ、なんか自分では納得できないっていうか、こうもっとすごい人がたくさんいてね、まあ、劣等感っていうか、そういうところに行って、なんかこうちょっとこう、キャラも変えてね、こう、なんとか生き残ろうみたいな、必死、曲を作ることだけで、こう、まあ、何者かになりたかったんだけど、もちろんね、その中でまあ歌歌ったりステージに立ったりいろんなことをやって、もちろんその楽しかった思い出はたくさんあるんだけど、でも僕の根本ってボカロ P、曲を作るところからギターを弾くところから入ったんですよ。で周りはどんどんこう音楽一本でこう売れていく人とかもいて、それを横目にね、自分は何やってんだろうってよく思ってたんだよね。そうでもなかなかこう音楽一本でまたやるぞっていう気持ちになりきれなくて、自信がどっかなかった。でいろんなことをこう小手先でやってね、逃げてきたんだけど。
It's 2019 now, and Pusu started seeing people already making it big with music. It frustrates him even more, to the point where he's considering retiring from music altogether. But instead, he told himself that this might be his last chance to go back into music.
2019年になってちょっとね風向きが変わった世間の。ボカロ P とかが時々ちょっとこうなんか歌い手とか YouTuber が出てきてそこに押されてるっていうかね、そういう風に感じた時期はあったんだけど、2019年から結構そのボカロ P がまたこう注目されたり、まあ、そういうネット音楽自体がねすごい注目を浴びるようになったなって僕は感じたんですよ。でそこでこのタイミング今だったらもう一回やってワンチャンあるかもしれない、まあ、ワンチャンって言い方ちょっとあれなんだけど、 そのタイミングをずっと見計らってはいたんだよね。でもやっぱりこう今、違うのかなって他のことでなんとか食いつないできた。僕はその、歌い手とかいろいろやってたんだよ。顔出しの変ななんか YouTuber ごっこじゃないけどね、やってたの。そういうのも全部引退しますって言ってもうやめますと。もちろんその時結構その言ってくれたファンの人にこう、なんだこいつって思われたりね、いろいろあったんだけど、それでももう一回音楽で勝負したいと思って2019年で僕は引退しますって。その歌い手引退ってのもちょっとおかしな話だけど、やめて音楽一本でその活動を中心にまたやりますって僕は意思表示を Twitter でやって。
So he thought of making some original songs. Then he began searching for a vocalist. His search for a vocalist seemed worrying because he's afraid that the singer wouldn't be able to deliver the song that he had made. That would change, however, when he received a message from Ray with one of her covers that she had done. Then he instantly thought she would be perfect for the role and messaged her to form a group together.
そこからね、早速じゃあどうしようかと、何をする、ただ音楽をボカロ P としてまたやるのか、いろいろ考えた時に、なんかそのボカロ P もいいんだけど、なんかそのなんだろうな、歌ってみたもやってたから歌いいなと思って、生の歌でも自分で歌うのはなんか違うなってちょっと思ってたのね。だからなんかその、自分が歌わないんだけど生のボーカルってなったらボーカルを探すっていうことになるで、じゃあちょっとそういう、しかもそういう、ユニットがいたわけよ。ボーカルがいて、ボーカル P とかいて、いろいろだよね。で本当に今僕はそれを見てて、横目に見ててね、そういうアーティストが出てきてこう伸びていくのすげえなって思ってたのもあったから、ちょっとそれやってみようかなと思って、でもう、Twitter でこういろんな人の歌を聴きまくって、なんかその僕のこうハードな曲、難しい曲を歌えそうなボーカリストいないかなと思って探してたら、たまたまレイスさんがなんか Twitter にピョンって上がってる歌ってみたかなんかあって聞いたらすごいよかった。もういろいろ見てて、なんか歌はうまいと思うけど、なんか僕の曲と合わないかなって思った中で、もうレイはもう聞いた瞬間、もう絶対こいつやべえって思ったんですよ。そうでもう速攻でもう連絡して、いきなりもうユニット組もうぜって、面識もないのにドヤ顔でもうなんかタメ語で送ったら、レイさん OK 軽いノリで大学生ノリでイエーイですぐもう意思が通るで、レイさん仲間になってまずでそうトラックのパーティーでレイさんが後ろにこうねついて。
Afterwards, he began searching for an illustrator. He wanted someone who can capture emotions as well as using lots of color. Already planned to work with Azun, since they've already worked together in the past, he wanted to find another person. While looking through his followers, he came upon Omutatsu's account and quickly got in touch with her.
今度じゃあやっぱイラストが必要だと。動画はね、アジュンがもともと昔から僕動画を作ってもらっていたんだよね。でイラストが欲しいと。でなんかそういう感情豊かな表現とか、あと僕ね色をすごくこだわるんですよ。このパステルカラーとかめっちゃこだわりがあって、服とかもそうなんだけど、そういう色を大事にしたくて、そういう色を表現するのが得意なイラストレーターさんいないかなと思った時に、たまたまそのツイッターの相互フォローにね、オムタツってやつがいたんだよ。そう誰だこいつって。そういやなんか3年ぐらい前になんか僕の「朝顔の散る頃に」っていう曲をツイッター動画に上げてくれてるやつがあって、それでなんかこうすごかったから、連絡して相互フォローになって、でいたわそういえばと思って、そう
俺か
そうで声をかけたら、そう最初なんかオムちゃんはねちょっと僕にこうなんか誰だこいつって多分思ったと思うんだけど、ちゃんとメールを送ってこうすぐに仲良くなって、でオムちゃんもねイラストレーターとして仲間に加わり、こうなって、そう。
With all four members combined, they put out a few songs for a little less than a year. But he felt a certain something was missing from the songs they have made. Despite already knowing Miro at the time, he didn't actually think to add him into the group, but then he remembered how amazing his piano skills are, the way he can play the keys so fast. He's the right person for a spot within the Tuyu members.
とりあえずその4人でねやってたんだよ。その1年経たないぐらいまで。でもね何曲か作ってるうちにね、そのなんか僕の曲音が薄いぞと、なんだろうなと、ギターで頑張ってるんだけど、なんかねやっぱ他のネットアーティストとか僕よく聞くんだけど、音が分厚いわけよ。これ参ったなと、俺のギターじゃどうにもならんと。そう でもうねミロ君はもともと知り合いだったんだけど、そうだけどね、そこまでまだそう、いっぱい関わってるわけじゃなかったんだけど、ずっと頭にあってやべえピアニストだっていう認識があったのよ。早弾きやばいじゃん、まずなんでそんな動くのみたいな、
難しい曲やめてくれ
一生やめませんって感じなんだけど、スパルタでどんどん曲難しくなるっていう。
そうなんですよ、いじめられてるんです
私も
おもちゃんもイラストいじめられる。
納期がね
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 たまにね。
たまにね
はいでミロ君のピアノ本当にすげえなと思ってたから、どうってご飯食べてね熱く語ったね。そう焼肉
お肉を食べてね。
そう、
うん
そしたらね、もうミル君やろうぜみたいなね、軽い感じでこうノリウェイみたいな感じ。
いや僕が結構へこんでた時になんかね、いろいろこう助けてくれたんだよ、プス君は。そうでちょうどそういうタイミングがあってっていうところもあって、
なるほど。
だからすごくプス君にはすごく感謝してて、でもうなんか僕にできることないかなっていうところで、ピアノ弾くしかねえなっていう。
でミロ君が仲間になって完成したんですよ、つゆが。この今のこの絶対、今アジュはいないけど、でねライブやろうってなってバンドメンバーもね、僕が本当に尊敬する素晴らしい方々で、グーさん、ケイさん、アスキーやっていただき、今の形になっています。なんかすごいでしょ、なんかこうなんだろうな、こうありがとうございます。なんか本当に一人一人エピソードがあるんだよね。そういう感じでできました。
Now with Tuyu completed, they continued to make songs together until recently when it was announced Ajun and Omotatsu had to leave the group. Though the reasons behind it haven't been disclosed yet, fans are guessing that it's some sort of internal problems with the staff and the artists.
僕は立っている、ずっとやって僕は待っている。
Now that we know who Tuyu are and the history of the band, I want to give you the reasons why I love this band so much. From their music, their videos, and to the lyrics themselves. Everything about this group is just amazing. I've been listening to them for about a year now. They slap so hard. Just an absolute bop to listen to. Also, a little off topic here, but whenever I listen to this band, I sometimes remember other J-pop artists like Zutomayo, Yorushika, Polka Dot Stingray, and Yoasobi. Me getting reminded of Yorushika is not really far off because the band itself is inspired by Yorushika. And on one occasion, Anbuna, the producer for Yorushika, messaged Pusu and congratulated him for the success of Yappari Ame ga Furu.
からツイッターに DM が届いたんだよ、ピコーンって。そう誰だって言ったら、じゃあね、ナブナから来た DM が。でナブナってヨルシカやってるじゃん。でぶっちゃけねつゆものすごい影響を受けてるんですよね。もう本当に DM が来て、なんだろうと思ったら、やっぱり雨が降るんだね、よかった。でね、お前はインターネットのそこら辺に転がってるべき人間じゃないって言われた。応援してるって言ってくれて、本当に嬉しくて、もう相当泣いたんだけど、嬉しすぎて。でね、その言葉をね、糧にというか噛み締めて2年ちょっとね、ずっとね、俺は曲を作ってって、もう尊敬するね、ナブナにそう言ってもらえて、その言葉がね、本当にもうお守りのように見えてね、今までこう活動、曲を作ったりモチベーションを保ってるんだよね。ありがとうナブナ、本当に本当ね、個人的な話であれなんですけど、ありがとう、聞いてくれて。
So as we discussed earlier in the video, Tuyu has a heartful and darker themed lyrics. That's one of the reasons why this band is so popular among people. Pusu really knows how to write lyrics that has so much relatability, from being the kid who's always being compared to feeling of not being able to move on from the past.
過去にとらわれている人生とかその昔に完成してんだよ振り返ることでしか証明しようがないよ君も地位も全て失った今だ
To even the feeling of how life is just worthless and having the thought of ending it all right then and there.
消えてしまいたい障害なんてもにどんな穴がついて辛いよねわかるよだってわかったようなこと言わないでどうせ向こう30年経った先でもなんで言っていてなら私を刺して殺して奪って去ってそれが私にできる最初で最後の悪あがきだあの雪のバスに乗ってさらばでも私は恋と叫んで目が降って
Despite the serious topic that the lyrics talks about, the music that the band chooses has a very night and day difference. On one hand, Tuyu tells this grim story of a girl whose entire life has been forced to by adults, to the point that her whole life is based off of their opinion alone, and she's starting to question what's her reason to keep on living. But on the other hand, the music that plays has this upbeat, loud, and more fast BPM instead of the usual, dark, slow, and somber tones.
やりたくないやりたくないじゃあやりたいことは知らない知らないよってこれしかやったことないし死にたくない死にたくないじゃあ生きたいわけは知らない知らないよってただどれいいと起こしているこの状況はどうすればできますか
I think it's neat, Like I said before, it might symbolize how humans often hide their true feelings, how they would often hide their deepest and darkest emotions with a happier version of themselves. Speaking of instruments, Tuyu has the most sickest guitar riffs ever. Like, just listen to it. My god, I can't describe how amazing the guitar solo in every single one of their songs. Like seriously, he's really going all out on his guitar, literally burning his strings on fire. Also Miro with his keyboard, even though he doesn't have his own solo, well, sometimes, but he adds so much to the music with the piano in the background. You won't notice it until you realize it. Like listening to some of the songs without the keyboards, it do feel like something was missing, just like what Pusu said. Don't get me wrong though, all of their songs are amazing, but it's even more amazing with the keyboards added up with the guitars and the drums.
いつだって私だけの特権だと疑ったことないから友のね聞いて終点の先があるとするならば願っているならもう一回ゲスで降りて初めからやり直させて終点の先なんてありもしないならここずっとこうして涙もこぼし続けるの後悔もしているのね早まった私をどうか抱きしめてやって去ってしているごめんごめんごめんって言葉でほらそう君を笑顔に戻せるならつかむ 眺め真っ白な肌明るい性格幸せな家庭希望に満ちた未来の全てもちょうだいなちょうだいな
We've covered the lyrics, we've covered the instruments. Now we really need to talk about the MVs because they are so colorful. Every frame looks so vibrant and the characters are so well drawn. Not to mention the animation that brings the whole thing to life. Not only is it great to watch, but some of the music videos also have hints and nudges on what the song is actually trying to say. It's all thanks to the amazing Azyun and Umutatsu for working their ass off to make these. Oh, I almost forgot to mention, there's been different people who worked on their music videos, like Trapped in the Past. That was a collaboration with Pasokon Mausu, a Japanese computer company, and it looks so good. The 3D look, also the solid color aesthetic is amazing. I love the yellow contrast.
愛に満ちた生涯の全てもちょうだいなちょうだいな私にはなくて全部壊れて辛いよなんて誰も聞いてなくて好きってなんだい恨むことですかちょうだいなちょうだいなだからああ比べられっこ比べられっことっくに知ってるよあの子より劣ってるの言われなくても分かってるよだから比べないでいや比べんな私をほっといて左側が痛いから困る
Tuyu is just one of the examples on some of the artists out there that make these types of music, because most of the times pop music and band in general, they just talk about love and being happy, and even if it's a sad topic, it's just the same one over and over again. I'm sad, I'm lonely, and that's it. But Tuyu managed to talk about very depressing things, very relatable. It's sad, yes, but in a way, it's just so different than other artists. I mean, you know, Tuyu is just one of the examples, but again, it's a great example. Not only is the singing is good, the instruments as well is just amazing, and accompanied by the lyrics, it's just perfect, man. That's just why I love this band so much. It's so great to listen to, and if you want, you can just listen to the lyrics and try, you know, understand them. Well, sometimes I just go through the comments and read what people's been going through in their life. So yeah, I guess that's why I love Tuyu so much. And I hope after you watch this video, you'll come to love Tuyu as well. This has been Winter, and I'm signing off. Thank you for watching.